YouTube! How about a what the crap's going on? I feel like I've barely been here, so we need to do the old school greeting. Welcome. You all can hear me. Let me know. Man, things have been crazy. Yes, you even get the ugly mug tonight. The ugly mug, courtesy of air. Excellent. People can hear me. That's good. So yeah, it's good to be back. I feel like I've barely made a video in like probably like a week and a half. It's because it is partly true. We're getting the house painted. I'm working a lot because it's very busy right now, but it's also like kind of weird because it's like some days I'm in the office, some days I'm at home. The days I'm in the office, I get less sleep, and then I get worn out and fall asleep early. I haven't been able to exercise because it's either been rainy or windy, and so that's got everything thrown out. Like I'm like completely off kilter. Like I had this awesome schedule going for a while. It was like every day, like everything was happening on a schedule. You know, it's like I was getting exercise at the right time. I was recording at the right times. Like everything was going. We were streaming every week, and then whenever they sent me back to the office, everything got thrown out of whack. Like it's been like dominoes downhill. And then now we're painting the house at the same time. And so yeah, it's just, it's something. It's busy. Anyway, welcome. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you being here for the stream. I'm excited for it. So what we're going to do tonight is we are going to play some campaign in patch 1.1 and see how it is. Now, there are mods out there, and there are some good mods. Oh, I forgot to change my resolution on the stream, so YouTube's going to be upset, but whatever, they can eat it. YouTube doesn't like it when I stream in 1440p, and I have something turned on. Whatever. I'm not worried about it. It should be okay. Does everything... You all tell me if the stream looks fine. As long as it looks fine, I'm not stopping the stream to go do anything, unless YouTube starts screwing it up or something. So in any case, we're going to be playing some campaign. I'm going to put a vote up here in the chat. I believe YouTube lets me create a poll. So we need to get some options. I really hope they fix the Alt-Tab crash, because I'm going to be Alt-Tabbing a lot. So if that'll be our first test of patch 1.1. If they didn't fix the Alt-Tab crash, then I'm about to know about it. So let's see. I don't know. YouTube's not going to let me add every option. So I'll put some options out here for you for who we can play. We'll do Kislev, Cathay. How many options is YouTube gonna let me add? Oh, okay, we only get 4 options. How do I do these fair then? If we do the options the right way here, let's see. Let's do ogres and then chaos or demons. And if demons win the vote, and it's kind of unfair because there's like 4 demon factions, but if the demons win the vote, then we'll do another poll and pick which is okay. But I can only put so many options here because YouTube is a bunch of jerks. And speaking of jerks, I'm a jerk because I forgot to turn on. Oh, no, it was there. I turned it off. No. All right, sorry. I thought my alert box wasn't on, but it was on. Maybe it's on. I think I fixed it. Clone Trooper Wheeler, what in the world are you thinking, sir? How do you be so kind? What did I do? What did I do to deserve this? All right, so the poll is up. You all can vote in the poll. I put it in the chat, so you all go vote on the chat. Clone Trooper says, "Hi Air, how you doing? I know your last experience with EAW FOC was bad, but wanted to let you know my favorite mod, Thrawn's Revenge, is getting a new update soon, and I highly recommend it. Let's go, lads, to war." Thank you there. Sorry that the alert box messed up. I thought it was off, and then I went to turn it on, which actually turned it off right in the middle of your thing. And it is on now. I've double checked it, so it's back on. But yeah, thank you, Clone Trooper Wheeler. I do appreciate it. So if you like the new Thrawn's Revenge, so it's getting a new update. How about we do it? Like, how about the next stream we'll play some Star Wars Empires at War. I'm down for some Thrawn. I mean, anything Thrawn related, I'm pretty much in. So, Clone Trooper, you're amazing, and so because he's so amazing, it's gonna happen. I'll either make a Thrawn's Revenge video or stream, or maybe both. So how about we put some time in on Thrawn's Revenge in honor of Clone Trooper. Since he's so kind to donate, I will make some content special for him. So Thrawn's Revenge, it shall be. Thank you, Clone Trooper. You are insane. Like, utterly insane. I don't... I need to make you like a week's worth of videos or something. You were way too kind. Warner says, pancakes. We will have pancakes. Warner, thanks for supporting and thanks for being a mod. Be here tonight. We'll have to name a character for you all tonight, Warner and Clone Trooper. Thank you. You are way too kind. So it looks like Cathay is winning the poll, so people want me to play Cathay, so we don't have to go do a separate demon vote. So it looks like Cathay is what we're going to do tonight. But now that we have done the Cathay poll, now I got to do another poll. So get ready for polls. So which dragon are we playing, folks? Are we doing Iron Dragon? Or are we doing Storm Dragon? All right. So there we go. Next poll's up. You'll help me pick that one. I'll leave it up for a minute or so that everybody gets a chance to vote on it. But that was the first one. So Cathay won. And let's get this one in here now. And if it helps with the voting, Iron Dragon is Zhao Ming. His start position's a little further east. And then we've got Miao Ying. The northern province is a little further west, up against Great Bastien. So go put your votes in, Storm Dragon or Iron Dragon. I hope you're excited for the content, Clone Trooper. I will definitely get in some Thrawn's Revenge. They have it on... It's on the Steam Workshop now, right? Or do I need to go, like, download it somewhere? I want to say it's on the Steam Workshop. But let me know where it's at. And I will go get Thrawn's Revenge, and we'll make some videos. We might as well, right? Honestly, all of my content's kind of disrupted right now anyway, except for the Shogun 2 content. It's just disrupted by my crazy schedule. But Shogun 2 didn't get a patch, but Warhammer 3 got a patch, and so I'm like in this awkward position. It's like, do I keep playing the campaigns that I have? Do I start new ones using the patch and mods? It's an awkward spot. Adam, thanks for being here. It's good to see you. Senshi, you're awesome. Thanks for supporting the channel. Killscribe, fantastic to see you here. German Soldier, glad to see you too. Ain't No Meaning, thanks for being a channel supporter as well. And then we had Appius here too. Appius, you still here? Do you play Empires at War, Appius? It's a fun one. Oh, Appius just started some Medieval 2 content. That game has aged well. Yeah, it has. It's one of the ones that has. Shogun 2 also aged very well. I keep hoping they'll make a Medieval 2 remastered. I don't know, like, if Rome Remastered was received well enough to justify it, but... Alright, so it looks like the Iron Dragon is going to win this poll, so let's play Iron Dragon, and let's crank up the difficulty, at least on the campaign map. Let's put it on very hard, just for fun. And see what it's like. So I'm going to put it on very hard. We'll leave the battle difficulty on normal, just so the battles make sense, and they're not unbalanced and ridiculous. Since I have played it, I can get back into Empires. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, Medieval 2 did age well. I think Shogun 2, in my opinion, is probably still like the best aging Total War game. Rome 2 is not bad though too, because it got so many patches and years of support. But Shogun 2 is beautiful. Like, it is a really good one. But Medieval 2, just in terms of like, I mean, it is really old. It definitely has some age in it, but it's still a fun game, like for sure. Still a fun game. Yeah, the AI, it's kind of like Rome 1. Like, the AI had some major issues. That's why I kind of hope they do a remastered version. The remastered helped. Like, it didn't make it totally better. And I really liked Rome Remastered. In fact, I'm still thinking about playing another campaign on it. I need to determine where I want to do a Rome campaign really bad. And I kind of want to do Rome 2. But there's so many options in Rome 2. It's like, do I just play regular Grand Campaign? Do I play something else? Or you know, do we do a really old school Rome campaign? But I haven't figured that one out too. But yeah, I really wish they would make a Medieval 2 remastered. That would be really fun. Next campaign is Austria and Napoleon. Now that would be fun too. Technically, my first Austria campaign was an Empire Total War, but I'd be down with either one. I haven't played Napoleon in a long time. That would be good. You do custom battles or play with YouTubers in tournaments? I don't play in tournaments really, Eldrin, because I'm just too busy. Like between my day job and my family and me trying to have some spare time, like I'm just too busy. But I do custom battles with folks sometimes. I haven't done it in a long time. If I can get my streaming schedule back into whack, I would want to do them once a week and then stream some campaign once a week.
I will guide you to the dying god. You require a grand legion.
I don't think we need to watch the intro video, do we? We've all seen the intro videos. But how do we get the alchemist?
My sibling's scorn is
engage the skaven. Okay, well that seems easy enough. Alright, let's go take on Clan Eshin. A remaster. Well, as far as the Total War game that really needs the remaster probably like the most, it could be argued Medieval 2, or I would say Empire. Napoleon kind of was an Empire remastered, in a way. Like, it was very different in many ways, but it was also kind of a remastered version of Empire. I think that if Napoleon had had the fire by rank still in place, and slightly slower fire rates and overall movement rates, it's like Napoleon goes a little too fast in the battles for me. I feel like if Napoleon had slightly slower battles, the fire by rank, kind of like it was in Empire, then Napoleon would just be amazing. But then you had a bigger map in Empire Total War 2, which was really fun. So, I don't know. I'd love to see Empire Total War get remastered. Napoleon definitely did some things much better. Like, they did effects much better in Napoleon. Like, the visual effects were unquestionably better. But there was some stuff that I like better in Empire, like just kind of the general way the battles felt and stuff. They just felt better. Like it felt more like I would want a battle to feel that time period. But I mean, they were both good games, but Napoleon was definitely superior in certain regards, just because it was a newer game that got some attention. It got some attention that was not given to Empire. Right. Warner, thanks for another 5. He says, got a fun challenge for you to try Rome 2. Play as Rome, but using only Sakai and auxiliary units. That would be pretty fun. It'd be like Hannibal's Rome, right? It's like Rome without the professional army. That would be pretty entertaining. I might do that, Warner. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. Yeah, it'd be like Hannibal's Rome, like having to fight with nothing but like non-professional units and mercenaries. I mean, I would be stocking up on Sakai. That is such a weird. Saki. How do you say that? Like, what is the proper pronunciation? What is it? Our good friend Maximus used to call them sockeye salmon. I'll go with that. The sockeye salmon infantry.
For the moon dragon! Fight as one!
We had Pastati and sockeye salmon infantry. Sock it to me. That's right, Appius. Sock it to me. That's what we named the first unit of them. They're actually pretty good auxiliary units. Like, they're a nice heavy infantry. Aren't they kind of like, oh crap, what was that defensive heavy sword infantry?
Whatever is required.
Didn't Carthage have like a heavy defensive sword mercenary unit? I don't remember what they were called. It was very similar to a Saki mercenaries or something. I don't know. Samnite mercenaries. Similar. There's like a heavy defensive sword unit if I remember right. It's a fun unit. Is it Soki-e? Sokai? Sakai? Like, Samnite Warriors? Yeah, Samnite Warriors were similar, if I remember right. Iberian infantry is great too, Bishop. I love all the javelins on the Iberian infantry. They're a very fun light infantry in that game.
Rocket battery!
I have some Roman gear in real life from being at a Renaissance fair. That's awesome. Roman gear is pretty awesome. I mean, honestly, the Romans, like, I hate to admit this on the HeirofCarthage channel, so don't tell anybody you heard me saying this, okay? Don't tell Hannibal. I'll get disowned. He'll make me take off my "What would Hannibal do" bracelet. But in any case, the Romans had some really cool gear, and it's fun to read about their history. Like, so even me being a huge fan of Carthage, you gotta admire that sexy legionary gear that the Romans had. It was good stuff. And for me, it's never the same. Like, once Rome hits those reforms, and they lose that awesome kind of rectangular scutum and the segmented armor, and they turn into like those post-reform legionaries with the oval shields and the chainmail. It's just never the same, right? That's probably why Rome failed. Let's be honest. When you lost the style, you lose the whole empire. I mean, it can't be any of those other obvious historical reasons you've read about. The real reason why Rome fell is because they switched armors. So, I mean, it's pretty simple, folks. There you go. History with the heir of Carthage. All right, so Warner says, yeah, Samnite Warriors and Soki Extraordinari are very similar to one another. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They're both like a heavy defensive sword. You know, like they don't have great attack, but they have really good armor and pretty solid defense. The Comita Tenseis look kind of fresh. Here's the only thing I liked about the Comita Tenses, Warner, and it wasn't so much the Comita Tenses. It was whenever here's the one thing I can dig about late Empire, okay? Switching to the Plumbatari dart over the javelin. Now, I can dig the Plumbatari dart. It was pretty cool. Like, throwing lawn darts at your enemy before a battle, that is some good stuff. Like, I approve. Like, or using your enemy for practice as lawn darts. I definitely approve of that.
Shall find purpose.
Regina says you can't just throw away your branding like that and expect nothing to happen. Exactly, Regina. They threw away their branding. You can't get rid of the brand. That was like the Roman. It'd be like Apple all of a sudden, you know, providing iPhones that were a different shape or color, or running Android on their iPhone, right? I mean, and this is not like to start a battle between Apple and Android. I'm more of an Android person myself, but you know, it'd be like Apple throwing away their brand by letting people, you know, make their own iPhones and changing the logos and everything. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be an iPhone. You will have ruined your branding.
They have the honor of service.
That was Rome's problem. They ruined their branding. Period. App Droid confirmed. That's right. It's the it's the sick love child of Apple and Android, the App Droid phone. Oh man. I love it. I miss streaming. You know what? It's been too long. I needed some streams. It helps me.
Cathay must never stand still.
Yeah, you can't, but you can respect the usefulness of the gear, exactly. Yeah, I know why things started to change, right?
Of the sky,
Nail armor and stuff like that makes sense. More flexible, probably lighter. I don't know if it was easier to produce, though, man. Making all those little chain rings back then, that had to be brutal.
Of dragon children.
Of course, just making armor in general back then had to be quite a daunting task.
Alchemist of Shangya. Feet become fleet.
Oh, man. I miss streaming. Thanks for being here tonight, folks. It was not planned for that long, and then Warner and Clone Trooper, you guys are nuts. Thanks for the support. Thank you, everybody else, for being here, too. Nikki, the Salt Queen. The Salt Billionaire. Thanks for being here, too, Nikki. It's good to have you here. It's not the same unless I have Nikki on my stream or leaving a comment on my videos. Like, it's really not complete. So we've got Nikki here. All right, so let's see. Let's get a caravan started. Oh yeah, it's trying to give me the walkthrough of the caravans. I'm pretty sure I remember how to use caravans, but you know, I am here at Carthage, so I'll probably find a way to screw it up. Never doubt my ability to screw up something simple or to miss micro. Don't you doubt me, folks. Okay. Got our caravan going.
Forged in fire.
Nothing to do in the winter but taste the wife's cooking. That's right, stranger. You have all winter to make your chainmail. You're stuck in the house.
The celestial blacksmith.
I'm assuming we're gonna find a bunch of skaven here.
But you moan.
Skaven it be. Eshin fresh for a caravan loading. Thanks, Senshi. That's right. We're gonna get some fresh Eshin meat right here. Yes, yes. Warner says, say what you will about them ditching the segmentata, but you can't convince me that the Gallic helmet looks better than the Intercisa. I'm trying to remember, what was the new helmet versus the old? I liked the old helmet. It was pretty cool looking. It was the one that had like the little ear flap type things over it, right? The Roman helmet. I don't know, it was pretty slick. The whole garb was awesome. Like, it was pretty good looking. Some Kentucky fried rat, that's right, Pertaru. Some KFR right here. Hot and crispy. Fried in Kislev bear fat.
Shenyang's faithful. Peasant spearmen. Thoughts in harmony. Defenders of Cathay.
Didn't they buff Cathay's Harmony range? I think they did, right? Like the Harmony range was priest.
Lord of Shenyang.
Okay, let's start the battle. I mean,
For generation upon generation, I have delivered only triumph. Today is no different. Shenyang sends us.
getting a rousing general speech from the Iron Dragon there.
For Cathay.
These towers. I'm
Alchemist.
gonna go ahead and transform as soon as I'm able. I need to go back and look at some of the armor.
Yes.
I definitely like the Plumbata darts a lot. Those are really cool. Like, the Plumbata darts were absolutely awesome. Had to be terrifying, like standing across from the Romans in the first. Well, I mean, unless you're the Huns, then it wasn't so terrifying. But you know what I mean. Starman, thanks for the 20. You are awesome. Thanks for being here, Starman. Thanks for being such a big supporter of the channel and being present. Helping old man Air feel better about himself by being so awesome.
Minds as one, guided by ancestors.
Y'all have any fun plans this summer? I've got the new kayak all set up. I'm ready to do a bunch of fishing. I am super excited.
Defenders of Cathay.
It's actually a pedal-powered kayak. It's awesome. I can actually get around in it faster than if I had like an electric trolling motor, and I'm super excited to get around and do some fishing. I'm gonna try and get on some crappie and some catfish and bass this summer. And I had like the most pleasant of surprises the other day. This guy I know, he works for a fishing company, and he's like, hey, I say I know him. I actually had just met him, and he's like, hey, I'm moving out of town. I gotta get rid of this stuff. And he's like, I have all this fishing equipment because they send it to me for samples when I'm going to the different retail companies to pitch it to them. And he's like, why don't you just come take some of these fishing poles? And I was like, okay, you know. So I figured, I mean, that was extremely kind, right, for him to offer to give me free stuff. But you know, when you're getting free stuff, like, I mean, the way I spend money, like, I don't buy expensive fishing gear. Like, I try and minimize what I spend on fishing gear because, let's be honest, like, it's not gonna actually make me better at fishing. I just need the basics. So anyway, I go over, and this dude hands me it's two different rods. They're $80 graphite rods. And I was just like, holy smokes. And he's like, oh, I have one more over here. And he hands me this really nice, like super light spinning rod. It's a $250 graphite spinning rod. Now, of course, he didn't have to pay for it. The company gave it to him, you know, to take for samples and to pitch to the different retail companies. But still, I was just like, holy cow. So Christmas came early for me, folks. Christmas came early. And now I'm just terrified I'm gonna accidentally like drop one of these nice rods in the lake and sink it. I'll probably be diving in after it if that happens. If I mysteriously disappear in a couple weeks, you all know that I'm at the bottom of the lake searching for the nice rod that I accidentally dropped. Christopher says, is it really worth the additional money? Well, so for my 2 cents, no. like if I was gonna go out and actually spend money on stuff like that, no, it wouldn't be worth it. I don't find that the equipment matters all that much. It's more about knowing what you're doing, right place, and the right knowledge. But, you know, if someone's gonna hand it to me for free as a gift, I mean, holy crap. That is very kind, and I will gladly take it and put it to use. And it was very, very kind of him.
Wind and fire.
Because, I mean, this kind of stuff, he could, like, totally turn around and sell it, you know, make a little bit of money. I don't know, that's probably considered unethical, but I don't know, how's anybody gonna know? I don't know, right? I don't know if it's unethical or not. I have no idea. They asked about the game, not the equipment. Ah, is the game worth the additional money? Sorry, I thought you were talking about the fishing stuff. My bad, my bad. Thanks for setting me straight there. Is the game worth the money? Well, so this is the same answer for any game, in my opinion, right? So, hear me out here. And some people might be like, well, hey, if he doesn't just say yes, then the game must not be that good. I mean, I don't think that's true. A lot of people ask me whether a game, and in this case it's Warhammer 3, is worth the money. Well, it depends, right? Is $60 really hard to come by for you? Like, is $60 a pretty significant chunk of change? If that's the case with any game, where you're like, man, I don't know, that's gonna hurt a little, then I would suggest don't buy any game at the retail price and just wait for it to go on sale. The Total War games go on sale, you know, several times a year at least. So you'll have an opportunity to get them cheaper. So I would say if that's the case, you know, just wait for the game to go on sale. Like if $60 is a lot to you and you're kind of wondering, like, I don't know, is this game worth it? I would say it's not worth it. Like if you're having to stop and think about that, it's probably not worth it, and you can just wait and get it for much cheaper whenever it hits sales. Like summer's coming up, they'll probably have a summer sale. And you got, you know, the winter sales, like 4th of July sales. It's like all these different sales, right? So that, I would wait for that. Now, is it worth it to me? Now, let me give you my position, okay? This is my position, and it's the logic that I use. Is Warhammer 3 worth it to me? Yes, absolutely. I've already played 150, 155, 160 hours in Warhammer 2. And when you divide it up math-wise, that puts me at, you know, less than $2 an hour, right? Math right here. I should be because I'm an engineer. So sure, yeah, it's less than $3 an hour, not less than $2 an hour, my bad. So it's less than $3 an hour. That's worth it to me. Like, for me to sit down and have fun at less than $3, absolutely. Now, if someone says, hey, you gotta pay $60 for this, I mean, I don't scoff and just throw away $60, but $60 isn't gonna hurt me. Like, an unplanned $60 is not going to threaten my budget or my way of life. So that's the mindset I use. How many hours are you gonna put into it? And then does that feel worth it to you? And so think about that when you're wondering whether the game is worth it. So, you know, like I had 1,500 or maybe even 2,000 hours in Warhammer 2. So yeah, that game was worth it. Like all the DLC and stuff put together is absolutely worth it. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, I probably played like 250 or 300 hours of that. I mean, easily worth it. So I think it depends on how much time you're going to put into it. And so then the question might be, well, okay, I want to know whether or not the game is worth putting that much time into. So that's a different question, right? Is the game worth putting that much time into? And I'll give you my opinion. My opinion is yes. And some people might say, well, what are you talking about? The game doesn't even have Mortal Empires. It doesn't have all the DLCs yet. It doesn't have all this stuff. So how could it possibly be worth putting into? You could just get Warhammer 2, and it's actually got more content right now. It's true, but we all know that eventually Warhammer 3 is going to be like Warhammer 2. I mean, unless CA pulls some 3K shenanigans on us and just up and stop supporting the game, I mean, you're going to get the DLCs and stuff. So where I'm going with this is that I think it's worth it. There's going to be more factions added. There's going to be more content added. You're going to get the Game 3 version of Mortal Empires, Immortal Empires, whatever they're calling it. I think that a Total War game is easily worth the $60 now with these Warhammer Total War games, or any Total War game at this point. There's a lot of DLC that comes along with it too, which typically means that if you do go and invest in everything as a whole, I mean, you're actually probably closer to a couple $100. So if you were going to spend that much and go get everything, then yeah, by all means, you need to be playing it a lot. Like, it can't just be a little. You need to be playing the game a lot in order to make it worth it.
They have the honor.
So, but I think it is, and I think Warhammer 3 would be worth it. Now, if $60 is a lot for you to throw away, and you know, based on your play style, that you really like sandbox campaigns, right? You don't like the story-driven campaigns. You really just like sandbox campaigns, and you want to be able to play on a huge map like you could in Warhammer 2, then in that case, Game 3 is not worth it right now because that's not out. And you could always wait for that stuff to come out, and then even more frugal and spendthrift, right, would be to wait until there's a sale and you get the content you want, right? And so that would make it even better. So that's just my opinion there too, right? So it kind of depends on the person. So for me, regardless of whether I'm a YouTuber or not, I would play this game a ton. So it's worth it to me. It's a no-brainer. But if you're not a YouTuber, you're very busy, you don't think you're going to get to play the game that much, probably wait on a sale. You know what I mean? Like, probably wait on a sale and see what happens. So, just my 2 cents there. Hopefully it helps. I don't know what it's worth because I didn't actually just hand you an answer, but maybe it gives you the mindset that helps you think. Hopefully that was helpful.
It's hot. The forge is hot.
Hey, Shetland. Thanks for being here. How are you doing? What do you think of Game 3 so far? Has the multiplayer scene improved any after the patch? Thanks for dropping by and being here. Arena says, I'm at 140 hours in the game at this point, before any DLCs and updates. I think that's worth it. See, I would be in the same boat. Arena Emperor, I agree. I think that's worth it as well. So it really just depends. Shetland says at full price, all content has to be close to full $450. I must have had 3K to 4K hours in Game 1 and 2. So if Game 3 continues to improve, it's worth it. Yeah, see, that's the mindset. And I'm assuming you're saying the content 450 is probably Game 1 and 2, like all the DLCs, expansions, all that kind of stuff. Maybe it's just Game 2. Holy crap, if it's just Game 2, that was a lot of stuff. Yeah, you got to spend a lot of hours in it, so it needs to be something that you're gonna like play a lot of campaigns on. Like, if you're just looking to play a couple of your favorite campaigns, then I think the no-brainer answer is to just wait for a sale. You know what I mean? Like, if you're the kind of person that's like, hey, I just really like this faction and I want to play their campaigns, then, I mean, definitely wait for a sale.
Defenders of Cathay.
Because this game is very expensive. I think the other hard thing about Game 3 is it is not well optimized. Like, it looks very good, and in some ways it runs better than Game 2. Like, so for instance, I don't get as low of a minimum frame rate in Game 3 as I did in Game 2. But overall, this game strains your hardware a lot harder to run the game and requires more hardware to run than Game 2. So like, it's a slightly smoother experience for me, and then I don't get these big frame dips. But it also really pushes my computer a lot harder than Game 2. I'm hoping they'll continue to optimize this game because it is very poorly optimized right now. Like, very poorly optimized. So, in any case. Alright, so we have got some ogres inbound, our peasant spears, and our jade warriors with halberds. When they're braced, they should do very well against these units. I'm gonna charge that saber tusk pack anyway. Yeah, so when we're braced, we got to do very well. And then we've got a lot of peasant archers. We'll throw some extra spears at those man-eaters.
Raise the dragons!
Without hesitation.
That saber-tusk pack is kind of cycle charging us out here.
Marching as one.
Get in here.
Archers!
Stellaris Console Edition. I need to play Stellaris. Maybe, is anybody in the crowd, or sorry, in the chat who's played Stellaris? How hard would it be for me to get into? Because, like, for instance, like I really like Crusader Kings 3, for instance. I have a hard time playing it because I just don't have much spare time, and it eats up so much time. And then I feel like there's a really steep learning curve on Paradox games, but once you learn them, you know, it makes sense and they're a lot of fun. What do you all think? Would Stellaris be worth taking a look at? It seems like the kind of thing I might really like. But I've always just kind of been intimidated to have to go through the whole learning process on it. Some people are saying it does have a steep learning curve. It's a good game. It's incredibly dense. Think of the learning curve problem with Crusader Kings, but turned up to 11. I see Regina sitting here saying it's easier than Crusader Kings. Stellaris is fun but complex. Definitely worth it. It's not too hard to get into. It's definitely one of the easier Paradox games. See, it's kind of funny. Like, I hear both there. I mean, Crusader Kings is super fun, and I started learning how to play it, and it got to be more fun. And I was excited to play it more, and then just time didn't allow me to, and now I forgot whatever I learned. And I haven't built up the will to go back to it, even though I want to, because it is really fun to play, but well, you got a lot to learn about the mechanics. Like, it's not one of those games that you just sit down and you're like, oh, okay, I get it. You have to learn it. How's it going, Evil Jungle? Thanks for joining.
We are in Akshai's kingdom.
I'm sure people have probably made videos that would help me get started. I could just go watch it and get started easier.
The Iron Dragon.
What are you all thinking of the patch so far? Here, I'm gonna put a poll up. Let's see, what do you think of the patch, or of patch 1.1 for Warhammer 3? So I'm gonna put this poll up, and I'm gonna put like options good, bad, and I'll add a third option here that's like mixed, like, or just not sure. So let me know what you all think here. I'm gonna put that up there, and you guys can interact with me a little. Tell me what you're thinking of the patch so far. While you all are getting, Richard says patch 1.1, the crashing. Oh no, I hope not. Did you start getting a bunch of crashes? I was having a bunch of alt and tab crashes. I haven't had any since the patch. Fingers crossed. But I do know that a lot of people, Shetland said, now you took the words right out of my mouth. Shetland, he says the patch would have been good like 3 weeks ago. Yes. Yes. And then, like, mods released, and CA is, like, silent. I didn't even know mods released. In fact, I was mad thinking they hadn't released, and I was all pissed off, and I went looking at the Steam page, and the mods are there. CA didn't even announce it. Like, they didn't say anything. Like, wasn't a thing in the patch notes, and if it was so small I missed it. I was just like, CA, please, what's going on? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, so what I'm worried about is I'm worried if CA can't get a little faster about supporting this game and patching it, it's going to be like Halo Infinite, which is you release a good game, fundamentally, right? Fundamentally, you have a good game, and you completely kill all the interest in it because some things were broken on release, and you take forever to fix it, and then you don't have a plan out to tell people when to expect things, and so people just get frustrated and leave and don't come back. And so you've effectively killed a good game by not supporting it. And I'm really worried that that's what they're doing right now, or may have already done. Like, it may be irreversible what they did to the player count. I hope not. I'm really, really hoping, like, fingers crossed, that maybe Immortal Empires brings back the player base, but I'm not
Metal and
convinced that they didn't lose these players permanently.
in Father's
I really hope not. Right? I don't want that. I'm not rooting for it.
a bow.
Wouldn't make me happy if it was the case. It would rather upset me, in fact. So, I don't know.
Warriors!
What do you all think?
Seeking Cathay's foes!
I think the game was good.
Move in
They
formation.
made a bunch of incredible additions. Like, they made a whole bunch of visual upgrades.
Sir,
They made a whole bunch of changes to multiplayer campaign that were just
Rocket
great.
battery.
Fantastic ads. Stuff they should have added.
Young sends us.
it pleases the dragon.
They brought in new factions, new
Bringing
demons, like the visuals in the game were much better. They did all the stuff that was really great. They revamped siege battles. I'm not saying it's perfect. They brought back minor settlement battles. They put all this effort into it. And you could tell there was a lot of effort, so that's what I was super hyped about the game, and I still am in a lot of ways. Like, I still enjoy Warhammer 3. I'm not one of these people who have uninstalled it and is telling everybody not to play it. That's not me. Like, I still enjoy the game a lot, but I understand why the game's player count dropped suddenly and drastically. It's because a lot of people were having technical issues. A lot of people were rightfully frustrated with some of the, like, things that shouldn't have been there at release, like the way that, you know, the Souls race was, like, screwed up. You know, how the AI was broken, and as far as, like, intercepting the Forge of Souls, like, all this other stuff. Anyway, all these things going on. I hope they can get the players back. I'm just worried that they've done permanent damage to their brand, kind of like 343 did with Halo Infinite. They hyped the crap out of Halo Infinite. They launched it early. Everybody was super excited. It switched to free-to-play,
Rocket battery.
and we were told, hey, it's a live service. Yeah, there's going to be updates all the time, new content all the time. It's a live service, and they barely touched the game, and it's an absolute mess. Now, they never promised Warhammer 3 would be a live service. And, you know, CA is usually kind of slow and meticulous with their patches, but whenever you launch a game and you're getting that much angry feedback and you're dropping player count, like, you don't leave the office until it's fixed. You know what I mean? You go into emergency mode and you fix it. So, like, if people are mad a week after launch, you get patch 1 out there almost immediately. And you may not be able to fix everything, but you patch every dadgum thing you can do immediately so that it gets people's attention. And they realize, like, okay, all right, they're listening. They're serious. You know, they want me in here. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think Warhammer 3 is in near as tough a shape as Halo Infinite is in terms of the way it was supported or all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't think they're totally comparable. I think they're somewhat comparable. Not totally. But at the same time, like, I feel like kind of the same principle has applied to both in a way. They hyped the game endlessly. Every day there was a new blog post up. Look at this unit, look at this spotlight, look at this video, read the lore about this, we've got this, we've got that. I mean, the hype train was absolutely off the rails with the marketing. And remember, I said I didn't like it. And I said it's because it was too much, it was overwhelming. The hype train was off the rails. Now, do I blame them? No, I mean, you're supposed to hype your product and sell your product. But when you have the hype train like that, you had all that time to make all those videos, to make all the blog posts, and you did that, and you got those out on a planned schedule. But then you're turning around and you really don't have a good plan or a schedule for, like, how you're going to be patching the game. Like, that doesn't look good. That's just my opinion. It doesn't look good, and that's the case.
Iron wind.
But you all can tell me what you think. So, have I been, like, utterly disappointed with Warhammer 3? No, I've never stopped playing it since it released. I've been really frustrated with some of the Realm of Souls mechanics that needed patched, that finally did get patched. I've been frustrated with a couple of crashes. I love the game. It looks beautiful. I love the new battles that they did, like the siege battles and the minor settlement. The maps look great. I love the new factions. Kislev is awesome. Cathay is awesome. I like all the demon factions pretty darn well, except for Nurgle. I think Nurgle's boring. But, you know, that's probably just a personal preference. That's not really CA's problem, that I just don't like Nurgle, or the way that Nurgle plays. But in any case, yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I like the game, other than, you know, the obvious issues that needed patched. So yeah, like I said, it's not me wanting to abandon the game. I'm gonna keep playing the game. Like, even if I'm one of the last 5 people playing it, I'm gonna keep playing it.
Harmony. March in ordered ranks.
But at the same time, like, I totally understand the frustration that a lot of players have, and it's justified and should have been addressed a whole lot quicker.
Defenders of Cathay for the Moon Dragon.
Here after him. Eric says, have you seen the new official Games Workshop store opened in Fayetteville, Arkansas? What? Alright, I don't like to go to Fayetteville because, you know, college towns are always busy and a mess. But I'll tell you what, if there's an official Warhammer store, that might be worth the drive to Fayetteville. Thanks for telling me, Eric. I might have to check it out this weekend. I'll take my boys down there. They'll love that. One Rio Dream says, I don't mind the Souls race, but up till this patch, it required turtling to make. Exactly. I think the patch made things so much nicer for the Souls race. The idea of the Souls race was fine, and I'm still okay with it. I don't think it's all that different from the Vortex in many respects, but the way it was implemented made it a little too tedious. And then, of course, you had some things that were just broken and not working right and needed changed. And so when it got changed, you know, I'm fine with the Souls race. Now, that said, I've played so many Souls campaigns, and I've beaten probably like 5 or 6 campaigns for fun on my own, and I've been playing a few. Like, I'm kind of burned out on the Souls race, not because I think it's bad or they shouldn't have put it in the game, but because I've played it a lot. So now I'm super excited because they have that mod out that lets me just play a sandbox campaign. And I'm really excited for that. Feels like the game was released by Simone, who makes commission on the first week of sales, the producers of the game. I mean, I could see where you're saying that, like, because they had a huge bunch of sales with a big marketing hype behind it, and then the player base just tanked. So I get the joke. Like, I mean, it makes sense. Lazard Lord, thanks for being here. He says, hey, Air, how's it going? It's going good. Better now that we have a patch. But yeah, I'm doing good. Regina says it depends on who you play. With Miao Ying and Katerin, you have to turtle, but with Korn and Demon Prince, I was just expanding like mad. Yeah, that's true, Regina. Like, there is a difference, for sure, between the factions you play. But like, for instance, with Tzeentch, and in the Tzeentch campaign I'm playing, it kind of feels like you have to turtle too, which stings because you don't really get a ton of money with Tzeentch. But yeah, it does make you feel like you have to turtle up quite a bit. Now that there's a bunch of quality of life mods in the workshop, I'm finally going to start binging campaigns. Yeah, that makes sense, Pious Skeleton. I figure a lot of people will, but there's all these mods in the workshop. You sure wouldn't know it, because CA sure as heck didn't announce it. I mean, if you're going to launch mod support, make a video of it. Make an announcement out of it. Go have a couple of modders work ahead of time to bring some popular mods from Warhammer 2 to Warhammer 3, and you make a marketing event of it, right? Hey, look, we went and gave these modders early access to mod tools, and we're going to highlight some of the work they've done so that you all can be hyped for the mod tools coming to the workshop. I can kind of understand why they might get worried about it, right, in some ways. Maybe they're worried, like, oh, if we go and hype up mods, it'll make it look like our own work is crappy in comparison to the modders. But I don't think people will take you that way, right? Because a lot of the mods that people do enjoy are that kind of thing, the quality of life, meaning I would prefer to have my game be a little bit different. I'm not saying you have to remake the base game, but if someone mods it, hey, that's great. I'm in that boat. Like, there's some things that I really like better modded, and I don't expect Creative Assembly to necessarily change the whole game to my liking. And so that's where I love those mods that people bring in. Like, they are really, really good. Chance of ambush minus, yeah, we need to do the chance of ambush reduction first, if I remember right.
A gift from the dragons.
Tzeentch campaign is such a grind since you have no replenishment. Exactly. It was a grind and a half. I think it will have improved a lot with the addition of the patch, and then I think with mods, you'd be able to change some additional things too. And I really like playing as Tzeentch. It's a fun faction. Definitely a fun faction. Zachary Lopez, thanks for being a channel supporter. He says, you just rule a small pond, knowing there's a larger pond and miss the larger pond, mortal empires. Zach says, ahoy air, thanks for resparking my interest in Total War Warhammer 2. I've been enjoying Total War 3, but it lacks the scope that the Mortal Realms does. You finish a campaign and sit there, well now what? Yeah, so I think that when the Mortal Empires hits Game 3, Zach, that a lot of folks like yourself are going to find that they have more interest in Game 3. And when the game launched, I was kind of like partially reviewing it, and of course your review always gets better with time because you gain more context and stuff like that. But at the time when I was reviewing the game, I don't change really anything I said. I said back then that the game was like a 9 out of 10 for me. It still is, just in terms of like it's a continuation of the Warhammer 2 game that I love. It's when I say it's a 9 out of 10, it was for me at the time because it was really new, and it still kind of is to me because it's going to eventually have all the content that came with Warhammer 2, and so I know it's going to be good. However, with hindsight being much better, right? Hindsight's always perfect, right? I had mentioned whenever I was kind of giving my pseudo-review during a stream or a video or whatever it was, I don't remember when I was doing it exactly, but I was giving kind of like a pseudo-review. And I had mentioned that it didn't bother me at the moment, but they may not should have launched the game without Immortal Empires in it. And the reason I gave for that was not because the game that I was playing wasn't fun, right? I was enjoying the Souls race at the time. It was still fairly new to me. I was having fun with it, you know, kind of figuring it out, doing all these things. I thought it was good. And hang on, which one is it? We're Suffer Attrition. Let's do that one. Set the compass over here. So yeah, I was having fun with the game. And I said, you know, they probably should have launched the game with Mortal Empires because, well, people were used to it in Game 2. And all of a sudden, one of the huge features that was like a huge draw to Total War Warhammer 2. Mortal Empires was probably the draw to Warhammer 2. You could take all of these fantasy factions and play them in one giant campaign map. So it combined like all the great things about having all the factions from the Games Workshop universe of Warhammer that you loved, and then combined it with the biggest Total War map we've ever seen. And I think that was very appealing to people. And it was a lot of fun. And then, so here comes Game 3, which is the much-hyped sequel to Game 2. And it releases without a couple of the major features that you have in Game 2, like mod support and Mortal Empires. And at the time, it didn't strike me just how bad that was going to be, but it had started to strike me, right? Because I was trying to give an honest review, and people were saying, well, what are the downsides? And I was like, well, the downsides is they didn't launch it with these things. It turned out to be a much bigger downside than I'd even realized at the moment, and it makes sense now, you know, again, looking back with good hindsight. It was a huge mistake to launch this game without Mortal Empires and without mod support. A huge mistake. So Starman, thanks for being a channel member for 48 months. He says, yeah, I'm really looking forward to Mortal Empires. So am I. It can't get here soon enough at this point. One Rio Dream says, I hate how debilitating plagues are. It can really stop you dead. Exactly. I am so waiting for a mod that fixes plagues. Plagues, all they do is make your campaign be slow and annoying. That's all plagues accomplish for the player, is to make you irritated. Now, if you're playing as Nurgle, the plagues serve a different purpose and are probably a little more enjoyable. But, I mean, when you're not playing as Nurgle, plagues are just a game-ruining feature. They are horrible. If they didn't make you suffer attrition and not be able to replenish, I would think differently about plagues. Like, so if a plague hit our army that slows us down, hurts our fighting prowess, hurts our leadership, maybe causes you to not be able to replenish for like a turn, 2 tops, you know, 1 or 2 turns tops, I could kind of be okay with that. But whenever every plague is guaranteed attrition and no replenishment, it's awful. Like, it's just, and I've had plagues last for 15 turns on end. And the only way you can replenish is to just recruit new units, which just drains your coffers and is annoying and time-consuming, and it just stops armies in their tracks and brings your campaign to a grinding halt. right in the middle of any action you had going on. So yeah, I agree. Plagues are obnoxious the way that they're put in there right now. They need to be fixed. Zach says, yeah, it's a step back for the time being. Warhammer 3 looks great and I enjoy it, but woo boy, hard to lose Mortal Empires. The lore of the factions is the pull. Cough, cough, Dark Elves. Yeah, I agree. And like I said, I mentioned at the time, I said that it was maybe a bit of a mistake for them to launch without it. I didn't hit on it too hard because I didn't realize just how big the pushback would be. But yeah, launching without Mortal Empires, without mod support was a massive mistake by Creative Assembly. It was a massive mistake, and I'll bet you if they had it to do over, they would do it over. And some people might be like, well, they were already behind on development. Delay the game again. If you delayed the game and had told people, hey, we're not going to launch this yet because Mortal Empires isn't ready, I think people would have been like, you know what, okay. That's okay with me, you know? And then what they could have done in the meantime is said, hey, we're sorry that it's going to be delayed on a total launch because of the fact that, you know, Mortal Empires isn't ready. But here's what we're going to do to give you all a little something, you know? And they could have said, we're going to have an open beta, and the open beta could have let you maybe play as Cathay or something in a limited fashion for so many turns, and it would have let them start bug testing and working out issues and balancing and stuff so that when the game did release, they were ready to go. Plus, then it kind of satiates the mob in a way too, because people really wanted to see some progress in Warhammer 3, and they would get to play it and see. So I feel like that's something they should have done, was got a beta going, let people get to taste the game and see it, but then use that as a critical opportunity to get the game even more ready for launch. And it doesn't hurt you as bad on the delay then, because people know why you're delaying, and they would probably be like, yeah, sure, that makes sense. Please delay. I didn't get upset at them the first time they announced a delay for Warhammer 3. I wasn't upset at all. Sure, delay the game, get it right. I mean, who's gonna hold that against them? No, please release my game early and broken, CA. You know what I mean? No one's thinking that.
Attack in unison!
Said no one ever. Upside Down Peon says, I've actually been playing it since the patch. That's good to hear. I hope more people have. I definitely think the patch was an improvement in the right direction. A noticeable improvement, but I agree with what Shetland Apache said earlier, which is this patch should have been here 2 weeks ago, maybe 3. There's that. Yeah, the patch should have come sooner. Even if it was a smaller patch, it should have come sooner.
Never conquered.
CA usually say the right things when they actually say something. They let dead silence fill the void for a lot of the time when people want to hear them say something. Yeah, I could see that to an extent too. Like this patch, for instance, was too long coming, and there wasn't much news about it until close to the time of release. It's not a bad patch though. Like, you know, so I definitely don't disagree with that sentiment on the whole. Not a bad patch, just a little bit late and not enough communication, probably. Never be mad at a game dev for wanting to get things right. Hogwarts Legacy delayed, and look at people's response to what was shown recently. Oh, I didn't get to see. Is it looking good? And then, by the way, oh my gosh, the friendly fire there was absolutely brutal. Is Hogwarts Legacy only on PlayStation 5, or is it going to be on more consoles, or is it also going to be on PC? I'd actually like to check that game out, but if it's only on PlayStation, then I'll never play it, because I've never owned a PlayStation and never will. Patch is a step in the right direction, but not enough for the game that costs $60. I mean, I think this game's totally justified to cost $60. But, you know, the patch should have been quicker, and to be fair, some of those things should have never been there in the first place. Let me give an example. This game shouldn't have launched with the AI, like when you go to intercept an AI army at the Forge of Souls and it was broken, you'd beat them and it would say, hey, you got 15 turns. And then it wasn't 15 turns, it was like 2 or 3. Like a little bit of play testing from devs should have, that should have never been there. And then now they changed it to where it gets rid of all their souls. That should have also been the case before the game launched, because again, had they been playtesting it, people would have realized, like, hey, this is an exhausting mechanic the way you have it worked out. Let's change it. So that's why I mentioned earlier that I think they should have done an open beta
You cannot
and just
banish
told people, hey,
Shenyang
this game
from
is in
our
development.
hearts.
Here's what we've designed. We love this whole Realms of Chaos. They could have introduced the Realms of Chaos, talked about it. Like, this is what we've designed, and we think this is going to be a lot of fun and you're going to enjoy it. However, we need your help to fine-tune it. Here's a version of it, a beta. We want you to come play it, and we want to get your feedback on it so that we can tune this properly so that the experience is everything that we hope it would be for you. You know, you see where I'm going with that? I feel like they missed a golden opportunity
The
just
Iron
get some
Dragon,
early feedback.
ruler of the Sky Road.
Failing the Forge of Soul battles should banish your faction leader permanently. You're out of the Souls race forever and you can't use your faction leader anymore. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, Richard. That's pretty harsh.
The Iron Dragon,
That's pretty brutal. But hey, I mean, if you're looking for a challenge, maybe so.
Lord of the Jade Swan.
What do you do after that if you're out of the Souls race and you can't... Oh, I guess you get to continue the campaign, but you don't have a legendary lord anymore? That'd be weird. I don't know, what do you all think? I'm not sure I'm down with it, but what do you all think?
Craftsmanship is impeccable.
How about Rome 2 on Steam, but can't run it since I've got a Mac? Isn't there a Mac version of Rome 2 on Steam? I thought Pharaoh released a Mac version of Rome 2. Does anybody know that?
Get out of my mind.
I'm pretty sure that they have a Mac version of Rome 2. I can't remember for sure. Someone let me know. Shetland says, to be honest, I always disband my legendary lord and swap him on turn 1. Make your own story is where the whole point for me. Now, that kind of makes sense, Shetland, where you're saying that, you know, it's kind of fun to just make your own lord and your own lore. I think what would be cool is if that was an option from the outset of the campaign, where you can play the legendary lord and kind of take on their persona, or you can kind of like, you know, like the Demon Prince, you kind of create your own. So it'd be like the Demon Prince, but available to every faction. And not quite so crazy as the Demon Prince, right? But kind of building your own custom legendary lord. I think that'd be fun. Give him a name and everything. I could see that being very enjoyable. I would like that. Ain't no meaning. Thanks for the 5. He says, Yao Ming campaign is super easy. Defend. Is Iron Dragon harder? No, I don't think the Iron Dragon's harder, in my opinion. Yao Ming campaign is certainly easy, but I think that, if anything, the Iron Dragon's even easier. Maybe not, but I think, I mean, in the experience I've played, I would say he's probably even easier. He's just got a very safe start position, and it's not really that. I mean, maybe you get some ogres or some orcs running in from the south, but you're in a very safe starting position. There's a mod that makes the Great Bastion not take attrition. Why was that not in the base game? It's a massive screw-off wall, if you think about it. What do you mean the Great Bastion doesn't take attrition?
Fire and metal. The Desert Alchemist.
Not sure I follow that. I'm curious.
The Celestial Blacksmith. Beyond mind and matter.
Gina says, I usually recruit one vanilla lord as the first lord to be my custom lord with all the purple and blue items they can get, so they'll be kind of like a legendary lord. Yeah, I think a lot of people would enjoy that. You kind of create your own lord thing. Which we kind of got, like I said, with the Demon Prince. CA explored it. I don't think people were in love with the Demon Prince, but I think it was a good idea. I'm glad they explored it. It gives them ideas to work with going forward. And I know some people don't like the Demon Prince for different reasons, like the start position, or just it was too weak, or things like it got patched. But at the same time, like, even if you don't like totally love the Demon Prince, I hope people would give the feedback to see if like, hey, thanks for trying this. Here's what I might like to see in the future, but thanks for trying it, because what I don't want them to do is to try and implement new stuff like this, and then the community just takes an instant fat crap on it, and CA is like, well, forget that. You know what I mean? Like, we're never wasting our time developing anything new. We're just gonna keep coughing up the same old Total War formula every time from now on out. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's good for them to try new things, and I want them to try new things. I don't want them to try and just do the same thing over and over again. Empire's Legacy says, are you planning on making more Rome 2 content? If so, it'd be much appreciated. Yes, I am. Probably will do some more Rome 2 after my Shogun 2 campaign. I just can't make much content, period, right now, because I've gotten thrown into this weird schedule and getting the house painted and all this stuff going on. But yeah, I do want to make more Rome 2 content. I love Rome 2. It's a classic for me. It was a lot of Skaven. I think it's a lot of trashy Skaven, though. I mean, I don't know if there is a Skaven that isn't trashy. Oh my gosh, yeah, that is a lot of Skaven. Yeah, there be Skaven, folks. Let's fight some Skaven here. Oh, I need to go look at my poll here. So I'm going to go in the poll. And let's see what it said. People thought about the patch. So we had 116 votes. 53% of people thought it was good. 41% are not sure. And then 5% of people thought it was bad. So it sounds like most people, like we had a majority there that think it's good. And then there's a bunch that are saying, I'm not really sure yet. I'm assuming that those people either, one, don't play the game, and so they don't know how to speak to it, or they're still trying to get their head wrapped around it, like still playing the game and trying to decide, you know, how they feel about it. That could be the case. Order and balance. Hoping I can get my rockets positioned in such a way that I don't get a ton of friendly fire.
Never conquered.
There we go. Can you try a barbarian nomadic faction? It's probably not where I'm going to go next in Rome 2. I honestly haven't played a Rome campaign in a really long time. I've been really itching to play some Rome campaign in Rome 2. That would be my preferred place to go next. The nomadic factions were never a huge draw for me in Rome 2 because of the way that their armies worked. Like, you didn't always get a lot of open field battles in Rome 2. It seemed like you got a lot of, you know, like minor settlement and other type battles. And when you did, the horse archer spams and cavalry spams just were kind of tedious to try and use. So I never really got into them because of that. But, I don't know, that was just me.
Let your spirit soar.
I thought my rocket was in range. And then, of course, the Skaven are running away. No, we're just out of range. How annoying. It's coming in from over here. Just a lord. That is kind of an irritating position the Skaven are in up there on top of the hill. Let's reposition here.
It pleases, Father!
Pious Skeleton says, HeirofCarthage, have you tried Divide et Impera? I have played it. It was a long time ago. It is a good mod. There's some things it does that I do not like. Like, sometimes I feel like it slows down the game too much. So there are times when I don't really like what it does. There are times when I really like it. I think overall it is really excellent work. And the team that made it should be very proud of it. Because it is a lot of work that they poured into it, and it is impressive overall. I think it is very impressive. It's not really for me on the whole. Like, most of the time I enjoy not using it, but it is a good mod. However, it's probably just because there's so much in it that it's kind of difficult for me to even feel like I know where to get started or where to even learn on it. So it's definitely, I mean, that's the main reason, and that has a lot to do with the fact that I'm just very busy, and I don't have time, you know, to dig into a mod quite that much sometimes, but it is an excellent mod. They've put a lot of love and care into it.
The celestial faithful.
They gotta get these guys off me, and then we need to start taking out some of these units. Get my long riders on the move. Let's do some Searing Doom right here. Fortunately for me, the Skaven infantry is just utter and complete trash. Ooh, that was good. Let's clear charge the long riders.
Defenders!
Start shooting back out there. Get my alchemist. On the very hard, they turned off some of my stuff. Huh. There we go. Like I said, fortunately for me, this is mostly Skaven slaves, and Skaven slaves are just utter and complete trash.
Guided by ancestors.
Oh, not the Warp Lightning. Warp Lightning is absolutely brutal.
Attack in
Right, I need the dragon to come over here and get rid of Deathmaster because he is going full-scale crazy on me over here. Start firing at the next infantry blob that's coming up. Oh, I hate the Warp Lightning. It's just like so constant. Warp Lightning, Warp Lightning, Warp Lightning over and over and over again with Skaven. It's absolutely brutal.
For the moon dragon!
Come on, get him, get him, get him. Stupid character sniping jerks. AI just goes straight for your characters. Oh, that is such a beautiful infantry blob for our rockets. They do have a lot of kills.
Finds us one! Move and win! Seeking Cathay's foes!
Come on, just get rid of that Deathmaster already.
Keeper of steel, might and mythology.
Good job, rockets.
battery!
The rockets are definitely getting a lot of kills. Look how many Skaven were here. We're up against 4,500 Skaven.
Zhang faithful!
Let's get my long riders into action. Ooh, no, right.
They will perish!
I don't really relish the idea of charging these guys, but I'm going to charge them and then cycle charge them.
Move as wind!
Alright, where's my lord at? I'm going to save his potion here. I'm kind of getting wrapped up a little on this flank.
I accept. Law of meta.
We have so many more Skaven to kill if we want to be successful here. And Deathmaster Snitch is still alive. Okay.
Never conquered!
We lost one of our rockets due to Deathmaster, and we've got these Night Runners behind us. That is bad.
Zhang faithful!
That is very less than ideal. I'm just really strapped for troops right now. We're just so outnumbered by Skaven. Alright, we killed Deathmaster. That's going to hurt their leadership, for sure. Let's go ahead and heal Jiaming.
Acolyte of secrets.
Drop some more.
Elemental majesty.
I think we're going to win.
My elixirs are ready.
Half of my long riders. Did I No. Okay, I was like, did I get them killed? Like, I thought I forgot about them for a minute and got them killed. Forget about them, I did. But get them killed, I did not, unfortunately.
Repositioning!
Let's get them back to a little bit of safety here. Peace out. Our rockets clutched out 603 kills. That is more than a few rocket kills. This flank, though, is completely overwhelmed. I think the auto-resolve is actually maybe going to treat me better than I did here. Not a surprise, though. I get distracted and, not to mention, just stink sometimes. We're almost out of arrows with all of our Omen, too. Well, I hope they fix that glitch too, where your lord would just like take off running towards the edge of the map and not follow your orders. I mean, that's fantastic. That is really helpful. The kill count is gonna go way up here, Kill Scribe. Longmas are getting pelted. Yeah, they were getting absolutely shredded because I was busy somewhere else. I'm not really sure. It's probably these two lords which are keeping the skaven on the battlefield at the moment. These are bows and shoot up those night runners a little. I'll get the lords once the night runners have been shot up some. Because night runners are really kind of a pain in the butt. They don't look like they should be very good in melee, but they are always way better in melee than they deserve to be. So let's get rid of the night runners. And get more of them come back over here. That's irritating because night runners are a real pain in the butt. I use them a lot whenever I'm in a skaven campaign. They are quite useful. Gutter runners and night runners can be very, very good. They routed more of their infantry. Just a numbers game here still too. We've got them knocked down a lot. Sooner or later, yeah, there it goes. It's starting to waver. They just had enough leadership units that it was kind of keeping their overall power bar alive, despite the fact that they've taken such egregious army losses. Oh, that did not work as well as I hoped it would. Alright, let's go attack here a little bit. I've got a little bit of ammunition left with peasant archers. Let's go for the Skaven slave slingers.
Minds as one.
And yeah, there we go. Alright, that was a lot of Skaven. Holy crap. Kill Scribe, hope you enjoyed that one. There are many kills for the Scribe. Just look at the kill counts there. 191 for Miao Ying, Xiao Ming, and then we had 238 for Alchemist, 603 for the Rockets. We had Peasant Archers with 162, 144 on a Jade Warrior, 158, 147, 130. Oh my gosh. The kills. We just racked up 2,300 in the one battle. Unfortunately for us, many Skaven escaped. But I think I'm just gonna take on the replenishment since we have to fight them again.
Whoopstone.
That was a ton of Skaven. I'm just gonna auto-resolve this, like that's not that bad.
Iron and fire.
That way we can go ahead and take the settlement. Clan Eshen's 3,578 losses. Woo! Thanks, Kill Scribe.
Iron Dragon.
That is a lot of losses for Clan Eshen. Let's see. I'm gonna get another comment up here. This one was earlier from Daniel Krieger. Says, HeirofCarthage, what do you think of factions like Krakadrak, Laurel and Forest being automatically at war with demons and constantly sending 20 stacks at you instead of closer enemies? Yeah, I don't get that. Like, it's just the way that Total War stuff works sometimes. It is annoying. Like, I've played a few Kislev campaigns where that was the case. Where it's like, you know, everybody's at war with the demons, but the demons are only focusing on me. And then, while everybody's at war with the demons, those factions that you would think, you know, everybody can kind of unite and fight demons, they also declare war on you. You know what I mean? It's like, you just can't win sometimes with the way that works out.
Alchemist.
So it gets frustrating. It gets real frustrating. I'm picking these upgrades. I very specifically picked Sure Aim because I love buffing up crossbowmen. They get extremely strong. And then Unyielding is also really good because it makes your Jade Warriors with halberds very strong. And you don't have to even really have the Celestial Dragon guard. Obviously you can and should at some point, but it makes your Jade Warriors very, very good. So I couldn't make Rome 2 work, so I started watching your amazing content 2 months ago. Thanks, Empire's Legacy. He says, I finished watching your Macedon campaign and halfway through your Seleucid one. Well, I hope you enjoy it. Rome 2 is a lot of fun. I hate that you can't get it to work, but the good thing is that maybe, I mean, it doesn't take a great computer to run Rome 2, and so maybe if you get one that's in a little better shape, or, you know, something like that, you should be able to run it at some point. And Rome 2 is still a fun game, despite being years later. Thanks, Empire's Legacy. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thanks for dropping by tonight, too. It's great to have you here. Pious Skeleton says if only Formation Attack didn't make them perform worse. Yeah, Formation Attack is a mess in Rome 2 for the most part. It is a mess. Oh, you're talking about Formation Attack probably for the Jade Warriors, though, too. I haven't tried it on the Jade Warriors. Can't remember. Maybe you're talking about Rome 2. Maybe you're talking about this. I don't remember. We'll take a look. Warner, thanks for dropping by. Says it's been fun. Gotta hit the hay. Get you some rest. Hope work's going good, Warner. Hope you had a good day today. It was a good birthday. Happy pancakes. Thanks for all you do for the channel. Oh, it's gonna kill off one of my Jade Warriors? Heck no. He's talking about Cathay's infantry. I'll try it out. We'll see what their infantry looks like. I didn't know their Formation Attack messed them up. We're being attacked by a single rat. Like one rat. Grimgore Ironside says, hey Air, I wish you could have played the Satsuma campaign with the Master of Strategy mod. It's such a great mod. What does it do? Yeah, it's too late for me to use it now, but fill me in on it. Love to hear what it's all about.
The Iron Dragon! The Path of Iron! Sent by Shangyang! Repositioning!
Regina says, I think Formation Attack is more to hold rather than to kill. If you turn on the formation, you should be using a flank. Yes, probably so. If it's anything like what it was in Rome 2, what Formation Attack does is basically try and keep your unit in a formation. It's really handy if you're trying to like hold a street or an alleyway, and it's less handy, you know, for trying to be aggressive or maneuverable. But like, for instance, you could use the Formation Attack to make sure you held like a real solid line. We just punked that skaven right there. You could just hold a real solid line and then use a cavalry unit or something to get some really good rear charges. The Formation Attack typically keeps your unit from compressing, and when it doesn't compress together, less men are actually getting attacks in, and thus it takes longer and your unit is kind of effectively less good at combat. Holy crap, I forgot about the spawn. They spawned a bunch of crap right here in my rear lines. It shouldn't do much because it's just a clan rat, but still, I hate Skaven. Hate Skaven with a passion. T-Rex Rex, thanks for the 20. You're awesome. I don't know why it hasn't. Maybe it did pop up on the screen already. I can't remember. He says, thanks for all the awesome content, Air. Well, I feel like I'm not making enough content for you all, and I will be making more. Just be patient with me. Life is absolutely bonkers right now in terms of what it's done to my schedule. But yes, I will make content for you. But thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. He says, still waiting for chip prices to get better to build my PC so I get my Warhammer experience through you. As always, appreciate your dedication and consideration for your viewers. Well, thank you, T-Rex Rex. Speaking of building, a little bit of news for you. I'm not actually sponsored by MSI anymore, but I still build computers, and I have a bunch of parts, and I still like building computers. So I am going to make a video soon about how to build your own computer, and the reason I'm doing it is prices are getting better. They're still high, but they are much better than what they were. Just still very high. Now, that said, as they get better, and there's supposed to be some new technology launching late this year and early into next year, and as it launches, we should see prices come down considerably because already you're seeing better availability and prices, and when you start adding more stuff, the stuff from this generation that has been untouchable and extremely expensive will probably get very affordable And even though there'll be a newer generation of stuff, don't ever be fooled by that type of stuff in the computer world. Yes, the newer generation of stuff is always slightly better, sometimes quite a bit better, but it doesn't mean the last generation is suddenly obsolete or can't play games good. So, like, for instance, there's going to be a NVIDIA's 40 series graphics cards coming out later this year. You're going to have AMD coming out with their RDNA 3 graphics cards later this year. Both of them are going to drive up performance considerably, which is going to make a lot of people ditch their currently very good 30 series and RDNA 2 cards. They'll put them up for sale on the internet, you know, like eBay, or whatever ones are left in the store are going to get cheaper because, you know, these newer cards are out. So I think there's going to be good times ahead for building PCs because high prices and stuff have kind of worn itself out. And I think you're going to start to see, like, you know, the next time something launches and you start flooding the market with even more supply and more options, it should just cause the prices to decrease. So should be a good time coming up. So in any case, T-Rex, I think you're smart to wait, keep waiting. I think the right time to build a computer again, though, is coming soon. I say soon, 6 months tops. Maybe quicker than that, depending on what happens. But I think about 6-7 months tops. It should be a whole lot better. So I hope it pays off, and I hope you do get the computer. It is very fun to build your own. It is very expensive right now, but like I said, if you hold off, I do think that you could end up in a good spot and get some good stuff.
Such power!
Peter says, yeah, but I'm leery of buying used video cards due to miners. Yeah, it depends. Like, sometimes mining can really wear something out. It depends on how they use it to mine. It also depends on the price, right? If the price is relatively cheap and you get a good card and you even just used it for a year or two, but you got it for cheap and it did the job for a year or two, that could still be worth it. So, I mean, I do agree you have to be careful about buying used graphics cards, but you can do it, and especially if the price is right. Has a lot to do with the price, for sure. Gotta find my charging cable here. My headset always starts to lose its battery during a stream. Beanie3500 says, hey Air, I finally jumped in on stream. I'm in Australia, so it's tough to align the times, but I'm a subscriber and watch all the videos. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you so much for joining me all the way from Western Australia. Appreciate it, Beanie. Thanks for joining in. It's great to have you here. HS Stranger, my friend in Florida didn't believe me that you, Air, know what you build PC. I'm not sure I fully follow that. Then he saw your PC build us. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I've built a bunch of computers. It's fun. I mean, I'm not like a pro at it, but I mean, pretty good at building them. I've built probably 2 or 3 dozen of them in my life, and many of those in the last 5 years. So I've had quite a bit of experience. It's fairly relevant recently.
They have the honor of service. You
There we go.
Obey.
Looks like I gotta go ban the troll bot here. Alright, there we go. It's like the troll bots always know when Warner leaves.
Know that I expect.
The Slanesh bots are here, yeah. That's okay, I'll take care of them. Just ignore the Slanesh bots of the chat. Air will deal with them. Let's see here. Trade agreement's always good. For 1,000 USD, can't go wrong. Yeah, I mean, if you can build a good computer for $1,000, I think it's worth it. Assuming you get, you know, pretty good performance out of it, which you should. And I say that because computers can be used for so long That's where I think that it kind of gets
Celestial
worth it. You know what I mean?
blacksmith.
Like they get used for a long time.
A voice.
They can be used for multiple things. You know, it's not like a gaming console where it's
Not suffer
only good for gaming or like maybe playing Blu-rays or something. You know what I mean? Like it has very limited usefulness
willing
outside
participants.
of
Unswerving
outside of
duty.
gaming. But a computer can do a lot of things, and I feel like that it's a good investment to have a decent computer. And then once you do get a decent computer and you want to upkeep it, you know, like keep it running, it's pretty easy. Like you just upgrade a part here and there, and you never really have to buy a whole computer again, right? You just upgrade things as needed, and it works out really good. So I've always been a big fan of build your own, just from the standpoint that it may cost a little more upfront than going and buying a store-bought computer. However, you'll probably get better performance out of it, and you'll get better longevity out of it for sure. Most of the store-bought computers are just e-waste when they get to the end of life because you just have to put them in a dumpster. Like, they can't be upgraded. Commence the purge. Yeah, we gotta purge the Cathayans who are not
Ruler
part of
Star
the
Road.
great Cathay plan here.
I bow.
Ooh, they got a lot of Jade Warriors.
My will does not
A
bend.
lot of Jade Warriors. They're gonna have a lot more. That is not gonna be an easy battle to win.
Brave. They have the honor of service.
I got 6 archers, the rockets, the longbow. Let's go ahead and stack up a couple more Jade Warriors here. And continue to build a little. Our caravan can be dispatched again. Thank you for the 5. That is Lord Papanqui. Probably said it wrong. I apologize. Thank you, Lord. He says, Era, your thoughts on the partial reveal of Nippon through Total War. Hang on, TWW. I'm assuming you are looking forward to Eastern Empires. Now, hang on. Who revealed Nippon? There's a partial reveal? What are we talking about? I didn't see this. Fill me in. There was a reveal of something. Fill me in on it. Thank you for the 5. Appreciate the support. I would love to hear more
Land of
what you're talking
fire.
about, because I haven't seen it. Now, here's my opinion, of course. Like, if they're going to bring Nippon or End or, you know, Tigerman, whatever, Crash, whatever, all these places, I want it all, right? I put it all in Total War. You're not gonna find one that I don't want in the game. I hope CA makes all of them. Now, do I think they will? No, I don't think they will. I don't know how likely it is. It's possible, certainly, because Cathay is here, so we know it's possible. Will they do it? I don't know. I don't really know. I'd be curious to find out.
The
And if they
Iron
did,
Dragon.
I would be really, really into it. Concept art, huh? It's on the Great Book of Grudges video today. Concept art?
The desert.
Was it like
Alchemist.
official Total War concept art?
Chest of iron.
Like Creative Assembly had made the concept art with Nippon in it? And even if they did, I mean, there's no guarantee that that means it's ever going to be in the game, right? It could have just been them conceptualizing something that they later decided not to pursue. But if it were in the game, that'd be awesome. I'd be all about it. I'd love some Warhammer Samurai faction. That would be absolutely awesome. He was reviewing an update that was released covering the whole of Cathay. Exactly, it's a concept. It would be freaking cool. Yeah, I mean, if they implemented it, I'd be all about it.
Wrath of
Part of
Shaman.
Monkey King? I don't know, Senshi. And yes, it was official. Well, that's cool. Number one, if they're even toying with it, and they're making concepts of it, then that's good. In a way, right? Because at least it means they're considering it. If they're making concepts
For
of it,
what
again,
do you
doesn't necessarily
drag
mean it's
me
going to
from
happen,
the fold?
or that we'll see it. And then as far as, is it feasible? Absolutely, it's feasible. I mean, if they've got concept art of it, and they made Cathay, you know what I mean? Like, they literally went to Games Workshop, or Games Workshop went to them, one way or the other. And they said, hey, we want to make this new faction that was never there in tabletop. but we're gonna put them in your game. I mean, if they can do it with Cathay, they did it with Vampire Coast, why could they not do it with Nippon? And I think it'd be awesome if they did. So it's totally feasible. I don't know what the likelihood is that it lands. I think it would be epic if they did. And it would be more epic if they brought it kind of like late into Warhammer 3, you know? So like get kind of the standard DLC out there, start fleshing factions out, get the game in good shape, keep the patches coming, be doing all these things, and then maybe like a year or two in, just smack us with this big reveal like, boom, you know, all this time in, here is a faction that some of you, you know, may have never thought would make it to the game, but here they are. I think that would be really awesome.
Order and balance.
Great Stag Knights were never in tabletop. Well, there you go. See, like I said, they've done plenty of things that were never in tabletop, and I think that's awesome.
Stone and steel.
I think it's awesome for a couple of reasons. One, because it's fun in the game. Two, it means that we don't get completely limited
Rocket battery!
as far as like what CA can put in their games. You know what I mean? Like there's possibilities for things to be in the games that otherwise we wouldn't have had much possibility for. So I think that's great.
Yes!
And then it's good for Games Workshop too, because it honestly feels like, and we know to some degree they are, but it feels like Games Workshop is trying to revive Warhammer Fantasy Battles. And if indeed they are, then this game would be a great way for them to help ride some of the hype that's in this game to revive those fantasy battles. And it would probably be very successful for them.
Perish!
So I would like to see that. Well, that is a juicy blob over there, but it's just peasant spears. I'm going to try and put some damage into the crossbows. Peasant archers, Jade Warrior crossbows. I want to target crossbows because they're one of the more valuable targets here. We're going to be outnumbered rather significantly.
Never conquered. Defenders of Cathay.
So we're going to have to use our forces wisely.
Fight!
See, they're already going to be in range with Jade Warrior crossbows.
Archers.
Crossbows have excellent range.
Iron Wrath.
I'm gonna oh, we can't slow it down because of the difficulty settings.
Shenyan's faithful. They will perish. For the Moon Dragon.
For the Moon Dragon!
The Celestial Faithful.
Jade Warriors!
Order and
Oh no, my alchemist! No, no, no! Don't do this.
aids my study.
Your life is worth too much. Don't do it. Where's my long marauders?
Thoughts in harmony. March in ordered ranks. Cavalry.
I thought they had cavalry coming up on my
Marching
flanks.
as
They
one.
do. There's some peasant
For
forces.
Cathay. Sent by dragons. Attack in unison.
Targeting crossbows.
Our
Target some
ancestors
crossbows.
decree.
Archers.
Archers in defensive
Whatever is
stance.
Defenders of Cathay.
Back up. Let's swap over into dragon
Come on.
form.
Unleashed.
Did I get my alchemist back to safety? I
Sorcerer
hope.
of secrets. Power of the elements.
That's good. Long
Guided
marauders
by
are getting wrecked
ancestors.
again, so let's get our long
Shenyan
marauders
sends
back
us
and just save them for
long
later.
spears.
Battle.
Minds as one.
Alright. Dragon is up. Let's go hit the Celestial Dragon Guard. A little bit of pain over here. And start healing.
Defenders of Cathay.
Try and get rid of those. I'll leave one unit here to guard my artillery because that is a very important unit for me at
For
the
the
moment.
Emperor!
Wind and fire.
Stop
Alchemist
sniping my character. She's sniping jerks.
Elemental majesty.
Archers. Restore order.
I don't know how we are doing on the whole.
Bringing harmony. For the Emperor.
Some peasant archers over here. Hoping I can lend enough support to this flank to kind of bail it out. Doing okay at the
Stone and
moment.
steel. Marching as one.
For Cathay!
I think we can do
Seeking
this.
Cathay's foes.
A little bit overwhelmed in a
archers.
couple spots, though.
Sent by dragon.
Rocket battery!
Rocket battery to bear
away.
right there.
Attack in unison.
Pile up right there.
Mythology unleashed.
Okay, we're kind of cleaning up this flank a little now. Let's stay after that Celestial Dragon Guard for a minute.
Peasant archers.
Long spears. Let's keep
Repositioning.
hitting missile units, because the enemy missile units are going to be dangerous
And
to
that's
us
all
over the
Cathay.
long run.
Archers.
Let's do a little character sniping on them, shall we?
For the Emperor.
No, we shouldn't, actually. There's a much better target. Look
Defenders
right
of
here.
Cathay.
That target's exposed. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. Alright, the Iron Dragon is kicking booty.
Whatever is required.
Alright, Iron Dragon owning.
Our ancestors' decree.
Alright, we are slowly getting rid of all their missile troops. Our Longma got a hold.
Order.
There's a Celestial
Guided
Dragon
by
Guard crossbow.
ancestors.
Let's get back in the air
March
and
in
cycle
ordered
that.
ranks. Never
Put some
conquer.
shots out there with their
Defend the
peasant
realm.
archers.
A mighty
Bombardment there. Used our ammunition, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring these long spears to bear. Let's bring our dragon to bear, so good tough battle here, but a battle that we should be able to pull out a solid victory.
Stone and steel.
Got some Jade Warriors with halberds here, which are tanking us pretty good.
Cavalry.
There we go. Fortunately, the strength of our legendary lord lent us a lot of help here. Alright, let's end our battle. Whew. That was fairly intense. I do like Cathay. I can't wait till their roster gets fleshed all the way out with all the DLC and stuff. It's gonna be great. Regina says you say that, but we never got a giant squirrel for Wood Elves dead game. You're correct, Regina. CA, please. Giant squirrel win. I mean, seriously. Giant squirrel throwing acorns. Make this happen, or I won't even acknowledge that Total War exists anymore. Grimgore says they should add these factions since it would help them reach a larger audience. I think they put Cathay because of the Total War fans in China from Three Kingdoms. That is very possible that was their marketing strategy. And, you know, it makes sense, you know, from a marketing standpoint that they would want to do that. It's a large market. Now, that said, I agree, but here's the funny thing is, like, you know, I don't live in China. I liked Total War Three Kingdoms. I'm not really into the Three Kingdoms era from a historical or whatever standpoint. But I like that they added Cathay to this game because I love Warhammer stuff, and I think it's a cool, like, it's neat. Like, I like the way that Chinese kind of mythology and culture came together to make this, you know, unique Warhammer faction. I think it's cool. It's a neat thing in the game. I like it. And so I agree with you in the sense that, yes, please, more of that. I'll take more of it.
The gift of iron.
I'm open to anything they want to do. I've always thought, like, you know, there'd be some cool, like, Araby was out there. I think it'd be cool to see some version of that brought back. You know, it's like maybe there's a lot of things you could do with it, obviously, but then there's, you know, Tomb Kings kind of always played on that, like, Egyptian thing, which was cool. It'd be neat to see, like, some kind of, like, Zulu-based Warhammer faction, you know, like, loosely based on Zulu. I think that would be freaking awesome. Same thing with, like, Aztecs, which I guess that's really the Lizardmen, so I shouldn't say that anymore. Yeah, Lizardmen basically pulled that one off. So yeah, I don't know. I think Zulu would be cool. That feels like something that could really add to, like, Total War stuff. That'd be a pretty neat aesthetic and look. stuff to it. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Let's see, increased mobility. Thanks, Hammond, for the 5. He says, what did Vlad say to Nakari in the bedroom? Look at me and despair. Jeez. Oh, it's terrible. I should have known it was going to go bad whenever it was a Vlad combined with Nakari joke. Oh, gosh. Something that's knocked the pygmies anyway. That's right, Regina. Bone Trooper, how much salt do you have these days? It's probably out of control. Is the bot even working tonight? Has it been responding to you all? Cathay is my second favorite faction after Kislev. Yeah, Kislev is my favorite one, bar none. And I can't wait to see them get even bigger and better too. But yeah, Cathay is great. Like, they are a lot of fun. Where's my salt? I don't know. I guess my bot's broken tonight. I don't know if my stream's working because my streaming software is over here like all locked up. Like it's not even moving. Yeah, I guess my bot took the night off, Clone Trooper. I don't know where the salt is. Clone Trooper, your salt's at Fred's house and Jim's house, and I'm doing the It's a Wonderful Life thing here, you know, the scene at the what do you call it, the credit union. Ooh, we can add an, hey, check it out, Regina. I get to play as a high elf unit before it gets added to the game. We can put a noble in my my caravan army. There we go. We got a high elf fighting with our caravan.
Test of iron. The infinite might of Shang.
I don't know what happened to the bot tonight. I'll try and get it fixed so that everybody can see that you're a assault billionaire, Clone Trooper. Martin says, greetings from Greenland? That's awesome. No, we had people from Greenland watching, but welcome, welcome. Thanks, Martin. Dum Dum says, HeirofCarthage don't hire heroes in caravan events. They don't level up. Yeah, I mean, still can be handy because they have an anti-large I can use whenever I'm in fights. That's weird, though. They don't level up. CA needs to fix that. CA needs to fix that.
Iron Dragon.
Another CA, please. Okay.
There's no lights! Two more!
Holy crap, Hammond, thanks again for the 5. He says, scientists have just discovered a fossilized dinosaur fart. They say it's a blast from the past. Oh my gosh. Oh, Hammond. You're on fire. Thank you so much for the support, sir. Clone Wheeler, Clone Trooper, I hope you're ready for some Thrawn's Revenge series. I'll go ahead and start looking it up. Make sure I get the mod.
Brave.
I'm gonna get you some special content on the channel. Some hot, steamy Thrawn content.
Cathay must never stand still.
Regina says, oh yeah, he joined me in my game. The caravan got attacked by ogres and all the army ran away and left him alone. I can just see that. The high elf is like, he's at the pub, you know, off in the middle of nowhere, going through his adventure in life, away from Oath One. Here comes a Cathay and caravan. He's like, yeah, you know what? Sure, I'll join the caravan. That sounds like a good time. And he joins the caravan. They get ambushed by ogres, and he turns around and he's like, wait a minute, where'd everybody go? He's like, I thought we were all friends.
The Lord of
great.
the Jade Swan.
An alchemist in your caravan is helpful.
gladly
Yeah, that would be
receives
nice. Would be nice to get an alchemist. Hopefully we will. I haven't gotten any notice of Urson's Roar yet, and that's kind of great. I disabled my mods. I think I disabled them. So I had a mod turned
Ruler
on.
of the Sky Road.
Clone Trooper says, yes, but wait till the new update drops. It's coming later this month. I will wait. I will keep an eye on it, Clone Trooper, and I will get you the content as soon as they drop the update. Speaking of Thrawn, while we're on the subject, I mean, Disney, please. And I say Disney, please. I almost don't want Disney to do Thrawn because Disney can't do much right in terms of Star Wars.
The Iron
I've
Dragon.
I still die inside every time I think about Star Wars sequels. They're so bad.
The desert
So bad.
alchemist. Celestial.
I just can't help but think to myself, like, Disney, why did you not just do the Heir to the Empire trilogy? Like, do your own version of Heir to the Empire and leave the, I don't know, it just killed it. Anyway, I'm hoping Thrawn shows up in Star Wars, though it scares me if he shows up more because I'm worried Disney will ruin him. But Hammond, thanks for the 2. He says, how about a real blast from the past? Thrones Night? Oh my gosh, Thrones of Britannia?
Conspirators.
Oof.
Fire and metal.
Isn't it illegal to boot that game up? It's not, it should be. I don't know, anybody here still play Thrones of Britannia? Thrawn is the best character in the extended universe. I agree. He's great. I read the new Thrawn trilogy
Not forget.
that just came out from Timothy Zahn, and I read the original, like, Heir to the Empire. Really liked it. His character was just awesome. The new trilogy was interesting, and I won't ruin anything from like a story standpoint, but what you learn about Thrawn throughout it is, at least in that trilogy, he's not blatantly evil. You know what I mean? He's not like the Emperor, who's this dark side character just out to wreak havoc on the galaxy for his own gain and benefit just because he can, right? That ain't Thrawn. And so I'm curious, you know, like he wrote those books. Disney would have had to have approved them. We learn more about Thrawn. Like, the books are very true to his character. You know, he's this ever tactical genius like he was in the original stuff, right? Like I said, not ruining any of the story, like specifics, just saying he's ever the tactical genius, which is a really interesting character. But his motivation isn't just evil. And so, to me, it could be a very interesting story that they could create, and it could go a lot of different ways. But yeah, like, to see Thrawn brought in, he's not your typical bad guy. Like, you know, he's not a Sith. He's not like Kylo Ren or these other goofs, you know, or whatever running around. I mean, he's different. So he's very, very different. Let's see. Peace treaty, no thanks. All right. Clone Trooper, thanks for another 5. Good grief. I mean, Clone Trooper just... I'm gonna have to rename the channel after you. He says you can get the mod on Steam. Corey Loses and his team are the best mod developer team, in my opinion, currently in doing the Clone Wars mod. It's good. I did see the Clone Wars mod for the game. That would be a lot of fun. Let's draw weapons. I'm gonna fight this one. I want to see our High Elf Noble in action here. Greetings from Liechtenstein? What? I would have never imagined that too. Thank you. Or Papanqui, or sorry if I'm saying it wrong, but thanks for the support earlier, and thanks for joining us. Yeah, there's so many mods for Empire at War. I sometimes would watch, who is it? Dang, there's a couple of YouTubers I've watched. Eckert's Ladder has done a couple of those mods that I got to see him try them out. And then, what is the other one? I can't think of it right now. It's a guy, he does a ton of like Star Wars and Halo mods and other stuff. Is it Captain Shack? I don't know if that's the name of his channel, but I want to say that's the way he introduces himself. He showed a bunch of them too. They really looked good. So I'm excited for it. I love Empire at War. I wish they would make an updated version of it. I would be all about it.
Sharper. Feel honored, for we fight for the Dragon Emperor.
Please don't
We
what?
fight
Clone
for the
Trooper.
Ruled Empress. Taking position.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you're going. Please don't. I got to figure out what you're saying. Please don't too. Alright, here we go. Let's watch our troops try and hold back the ogre horde here. Our noble ought to be pretty good against this man-eater. Well, they're going to be pretty good against him too, so I'm going to let it charge into my peasants, and then I'll counter-charge it with my high elf noble. Here you go, Regina. This is for you. High elves and Warhammer 3 before we get high elves. Come on, get in there. Stab some fat guts.
The dragons chose me.
Oh, check that out. Their leader just like totally pulled through.
Heading out.
Big pull-through cheater.
Long spears! It is fated, bringing harmony! Stone and steel!
Okay, there we go.
Peasant archers!
I love that when the AI just pulls through and just tries to kill your lord.
Noble! Forward! Moving
Nice
out.
cheese.
Together! I
An
shall...
ogre cheese tyrant. There we go. We got rid of him. High elf noble addicted to the spice. That's right, T-Rex. Oh, Clone Trooper says, don't name your channel after me. Okay, I won't, but I will forever be grateful for you. How about that? Emmett says, not many Warhammer Fantasy Battle players here. Many in Germany, some in France, practically a handful here. Well, there's not a lot over here in the States either. Or at least not where I live. Yeah, so, I mean, I didn't even know what Warhammer was until Total War announced it, and I had to go look it up. Like, I had no clue what Warhammer was. Glad I got into it, because I sure as heck enjoy it. A lot of fun. Folks, that is all the time I have to stream for tonight. I have been too scarce lately, and I apologize that I've been too scarce. I will do my best. But life is crazy. Like I said, we're painting the house. I'm kind of part-time in the office, part-time at home. My schedule is a wreck. Trying to get a bunch of things done outside of work other than painting the house. And it's just been busy. It's been crazy. But I will keep the content coming. Later this month, we're going to get a fresh Thrawn's Revenge, Empire at War series going on the channel, so that'll be fun. Hope you all are enjoying Patch 1. Thank you so much for stopping by tonight and making this so fun. This was a very nice, relaxing time for me. It's been too long since I've gotten to stream, and you all helped me a lot by being here and just helping me have a good time. So this is great. I'm feeling refreshed already. Almost like I got an early start to my weekend. So thank you all for the support. Do appreciate you a ton. I will be back streaming again soon, and I'll be making some videos soon. So HeirofCarthage signing out for now.